Why I paint on the back. This is artist SEAK Claus Winkler. This video is an art performance as well as a piece of art and part of my lifelong live performance. Yeah. Why I'm painting on my back. This is of course the word back has like lots of double meanings. This is not the point. I'm now focusing on the back of the painting, not the bag, the money bag or doggy bag or the bag around my, where my crown jewels are inside. Both my parents, my grandfathers were in the Forbidden Party here in Germany since 1945. So this till the 1600s or something. We are definitely, we are, German, or European. Back could also be my back or my backside, my rectum, so the word, this is still about art and it's still about my paintings. The word back, you're already getting it. I'm like, I'm going back or retreat, la-di-da-di-da. The point is, I started reckoning the ambiguity of words. Not just double meanings, they're like triple, quadruple meanings. And if that's too much information for you or too much thinking and goes too deep, just then choose a different topic or talk by my work or do some activism or do something provide. Anyway, the point is that the original topic from this video was like why I'm painting the paintings on the backside of my paintings. But because I'm you always like people always say, oh no, the authentic blah blah blah. This is not tailor prompted. This is like, I'm freestyling this. So it develops into my way. And I'm not aiming here for high, high views, lots of views, la-di-da-di-da. So fuck it. The point is why I'm painting on my back. It started, I would say, in the late 90s that I had like my SEAK styles, or have my SEAK styles, like trying to like SEAK, painting it on the front side of my painting or the main side. Back then I would never have considered that there's a front or a back side or anything. And because my handwriting was really bad, a lot of people would say it still is, but when you have a certain status or people give you a certain status or reputation, then everything is okay and it's like part of your persona or charisma or anything, and everything which then looks too good can be also easily be like, too much trying to appeal, la-di-da. The point is that my handwriting or textile or Handschrift in Germany was so bad that when I painted wall paintings, other people I painted with and I was hanging out with, and they were like, come on, please don't tag under your paintings. It looks like someone crossed into your painting or little children have written in or something like that. And they were true, obviously. It's like, that was so obvious. I knew it myself, that's the point. But it also like, it's like a must. You must sign your paintings. This is like, in retrospect, I would say maybe this even steered me into painting itself, because the subconscious. If you go deeper, we won't do that in this video, or maybe we will. I don't know. And maybe this act, the knowing that in the end I have to make this break or this jump or this thing, is like part of the whole thing, it's because it's the same, it's in a way, because it's like not aesthetic, it's like I have like, say I've painted like a background or I paint my piece like 3D, really nice. Then I have like my background reduced so that the piece stands in the foreground. Everything is in the background mildly painted, but it's like almost an empty surface. Around that, usually we painted at like legal Hall of Fames, where like lots of other graffiti artists painted. There's like lots of chaos, so that fresh wall gives you like overview. The eyes can rest. But of course, you also have to put in your name, your cruise, and then you also want to greet a few people or respect a few people, la di da. Maybe having a message and the copyright and the date. Yeah, and that's like ruining the background. I mean, if you have a nice handwriting, it's like it's okay, you know. But everybody knew like toys or beginners or people with no sense for, I don't know. They usually then did all these things around, and then it's like okay, and then it's like, you know. So we had like this saying also like, come on, lass uns den Hintergrund mit Tags und Grüßen ruinieren. Or let's ruin the background with tags and greetings, la di da di da. You know, so like obviously knowing what's now happening. You know, it's like self-amusement. You know, it's like not taking yourself serious and knowing exactly. And like a friend of mine, a crew colleague, Neck from Düsseldorf, next CNS, he came up with because he studied design, or he has a. The point is, he came up with this word, Latin in school. He came up with horror vacui, the fear of empty spaces. So, which is probably a real thing. The point is that it was like me signing my style, like painting my name in the background and the corners, or around my painting, my piece. It was like, oh no, like there were people like, let me take pictures before you do that, because then they kind of like, because then it's messed up in a way. So knowing that, when I painted my canvases, I said, okay, I'm signing on the back side of my painting, you know. So I have like also, I'm still having one painting here, at least one painting from 19, I mean, probably more, but one I can remember now. From 98, where it's like SEAK 98 Cologne, and it's on the back side. I have multiple paintings. So I signed here on the canvases on the back sides. So that in mind, years later, I'm keep on painting paintings, you know. But then it was like I also paint something on canvas, you know. It's not like an artist with that mindset. That's saying that this is like something special or unusual, or like, you know, it's like, I don't know, like a woman saying like I'm making a cake, but I'm making it outside in the garden, not in the kitchen. It's like, okay, no. Or let's, I don't know, or like a soldier saying, we are shooting in an inside house in a shooting range or something. It's like, okay, I mean, an inside house is okay. I mean, it's like war, but the war is, but you know, you get the point. The point then was, so that was for me normal, and I remember like having contacts with collectors or early buyers in a way, who then later were like only considered, I thought like they would buy a painting again, and they only concerning was me. Oh yeah, we have our paintings from you. The paintings we have from you, they are also signed on the backside. There's also something on the backside, which is like interesting. Not like, hey, what have you new stuff? Invest some money, or this, that. Just me, you know. But this is another thing. And also this like concerning how the paintings are and originality and seriousness and stuff, which is interesting in a way. I should maybe dig into that thought process more to then make videos about that or that thinking. So Or not, I don't know. So the point was then, I would say, from 2000, yeah, from 2010, from 98 to 2011, I predominantly signed on the backside with a lot of paintings. I completely forgot to sign them, also because they were so good, and then realized years later, oh shit, still didn't have signed them. I should maybe sign them, just because I'm now wanting to do some photos and or with signatures, and then now it makes sense that the paintings are signed or for some whatever, you know. So the point was then that um, I assigned them like a few years later on that date, let's say for those long canvases, which were painted in 2010, like long large canvases, and then I signed them probably like 5 years ago or something, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 5 years ago, with a marker on 2010. But I remember that it was like from 2010 or 2011 also. So, and from 2010, 11-ish, 12-ish, I started to think I can use also the backsides for productive efficiency reasons. Like I'm like say, okay, I'm making my paintings into better products or more attractive. So let's make a further, it started with the paper paintings. Let's make a further larger signature on the back side to make it more grander, more and also play with something and try something out. In a way, this is like how graffiti evolved into how it is these days. In the 70s, they did like tags, or 60s, 70s, they did tags. I mean, it started in the Roman times, just to be clear, you know, but anyway. And then later they put like bubbles around those tags and made it like more like, transformed it into pieces. So it's like remodeling literally the history of graffiti by practical reasons. So I did like these tags on the back sides, a little bit more larger, with some kind of like crayons, Wachsmalstiften or Buntstifte, this, that, and then I maybe said, okay, and then I said, oh, they look good, and I'm like fascinated with the whole series and also the front sides. And I mean, what you have considered is, I thought then in 2011, 12, 13 or something, that those paintings are, I started painting them on the backside in 2013 also. Yeah, and then I thought like, these paintings are from the front side finished. In reality, it was like this, that now we have 2026. So now those paintings are, those paper paintings, for example, they are painted from both sides equally, with almost all cases with an equal effort. So I continued also then painting on the front sides later, because my ego stopped giving me credit. And then I kept on growing, and I using them on both sides. And then I came up with this idea, or developed into this rotation, one work step at all paintings. So, and then they were like developing in all kinds of directions. So anyway, so the point was in 2013, around 2013, I signed them on the back sides. And then I was like, okay, I can try something more, I can do this, and I did like larger tags, also then with spray can and playing around. Then I realized, and I did this also with canvases here, because I realized, okay, I can upgrade my paintings, I can make them better objects, better products, if you will. I don't like the word product, but it's because it has like some industrial vibe. I can make it more defined, more precious objects. And I also was back then already like painting the sides of the paintings, you know, like the sides of my canvases. That was something I did like from 2000 onwards, that I painted the back sides of my paintings, which no one did. And then, it developed that I also then painted more and more on the canvas, just for using space or for trying out new things. Like, hey, I'm short in money constantly. I'm like short in money in terms of I can't afford to buy another roll of canvas. or an expensive thick canvas off the table anyway. I'm short in money in terms of can't afford to, couldn't even probably, yeah. Then I'm also short in space because the house here has its limits, and back then I was like maybe also, yeah, I mean, I learned then in the process over the years to be more and more and more and more efficient, more and more consequent in how I'm committing my life just into painting. I think, but that started fully with like transforming this living room into like a full studio room, rough and raw. I would say also in 2010, 11 or something. I remember. So, which is interesting because I bought like moving boxes from a Home Depot style company who built an a Home Depot style company who built their filiale, their dependance, where I painted a painting in years before they built it there, in the same colors. So I kind of like attracted with my painting that energy there, and saw a pattern here. When I'm painting something, after a while in the area, this is just one pattern. Then certain architects, la di da di da, they're building then a company, and I can see the influence I had on them. It's like crazy. Now I know it's a pattern, and it's yeah. Now I know. I think in terms of, okay, how is this beneficial for white people? So that's the only thing. So yeah. So, maybe that is the energy I have in my DNA, that it is supportive for white people. Because the times are changing now. Anyways, but the point, the interpretation of signals are changing. The point, okay, let's keep on keeping on. So with the backside of the paintings, so I started to utilize out of space, necessity space in terms of wall space, storage space, lack of resources to get by new materials, like more canvas, more paper, la di da, or even having the horizon to buy a roll of paper for like 200-300 euros. Like I wouldn't have ever considered that. Maybe because I also was thinking smaller and smaller, because that was like a constant. I was constantly on low resource. That was like my. I would say that my constant situation. I would say the last. I don't know. Since ever, always like lack of resources. Like in German say Mangel, the opposite of abundance mindset, I have to be careful with, or not careful, like, well, a lot of those like people who like not do the work themselves, or like the bosses and companies, and have like people under them who work for them, la di da di da. They then have different mindsets, yeah, but they're not also doing all the work by themselves, and they're just, but this is another story. The point is, I'm painting, I'm starting to use the backsides of the paintings. I'm trying out new things with spray can, with airbrush, basically learning practical training surface, like a benefit. And I'm like, oh wow, this is so great. Now I have all these paintings here I can use on the like canvas as well as paper. I can use the background and I can paint without the fear of messing it up. It's like not playing it safe, non-outcome dependent, which is huge, which is also, but the thing is, this thought of, I'm not outcome dependent, this holds just for like a very short while. I don't know, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2-3 paintings. I don't know the length on how long this freedom is. Till then, security mindsets are creeping in. Like, I don't want to mess this up. I have to be like in control because I'm painting also my style and my letters, and not just, but also. And there I have like, I want to be on a certain level. Then the surrounding, what you are seeing, is steering you. So for example, on the backside of a canvas painting, you have these wooden square forms, and that interrupts everything. So you can't really do like movements like with your hand, because you have like this wood part in between. So that kind of like makes you like a robot, or like a boogaloo dancer or something. It kind of stifles you, you know, and it stifles maybe also your thinking, but it also structures it. And it kind of like made me maybe unfree to keep on keeping on here in the house, just painting, and but also like having my thoughts under control. Like for example, when I remember that I was very humble or reserved when the thought was in the, I don't know when that was, in the early 2000 years, or maybe 2010 years then. Okay, maybe I should paint my paintings in a large hall, in a large room. And I reckoned my thoughts, my thinking was then so structureless that I can't control myself. It's like an overstimulation, being structureless, overstimulation. Also then I was younger, so there's more sexual energy, and it creates like an inner rush, which then can overwhelm me, and in the most definitely it would have. I mean, if I've been there, then I would have probably accommodated. I don't know, but just from the imagination, it would have like disconnected me from any possibility of focusing or having been concentrated, because what I have experienced in my childhood or in my youth was, it was always like, yeah, Klaus can't concentrate themselves, you know. He's distracted very fast. So my reverse engineering is that these days it comes from the word Klaus Winkler itself, and then SEAK amplifies that my name suggests that I get signals through the air, through whatever from outside, in small impulses. And yeah, I mean, I can also interpret that my name in the opposite way, that I completely neglect those signals in terms of I'm stealing myself away from those impulses so I can focus. You know, it's a matter of perception also, you know, giving in or not giving in. Yeah, so answered that also. So how much this begs the question, how much is we are influenced by our names and our words, and not on our personality. I know per capita, all good, don't worry. I'm trying to, and then IQs and DNA and mentalities, it's all true. The uncle was right, you know, the painter from Austrian descent, like a private rank, and the painter. So yeah, I'm from Austrian descent. Private rank, Obergefreiter, as well as painter. Yeah, so there you go. What have you thought? I'm making like my face like boomer nice guy. I'm trying to be like nice guy, not nice, but like boomer-esque, like kind of like liberal wussy style. Like I'm faking this right now. You're getting it right? Yeah? Okay. The point is. Backsides of the paintings. So I'm trying. Trying is victim language, or kind of like weak language, but it is weak because it's like it's that thing creeps in all the time. It's like the security playing it safe thing. When you have at least when you have a certain style and a visual language, you wanna like have on the same level while progressing, while being steered by what you see and everything, and then also maybe from what doesn't look good, and that pre-primes you that you then first must overcome this. I'm now on it doesn't look good frequency, so you paint things which doesn't look good. You know, it's kind of like, especially when you try something new. You know. So then maybe on a less autopilot in a way, which in that case maybe would be positive. So I started then over the years to paint on the back sides in rotation, and it also was a phase where then later, for example, out of lack of idea, okay, I have no idea, la di da, but hey, I want to paint more with roller paint or with oil. Okay, or craplack, Krapplack, which is like some kind of like oil lack. I still don't know what it is, but I'm painting with it. So fuck it. The point of had painted with it became donated, but I gave also some money as a thank you. So I used I painted those parts as well as the side parts, like the wooden frame. I painted that. Here it's in one color, but I have like lots of canvases where I painted that in all kinds of colors. It was like transforming from one pigment element to the other, and going here with a house with a palette or something with a textile with like some like cuts in pieces like underwear or shirts or stuff I grew out of, and used that as a brush. Or then I painted also with my bare fingers. And I started really like consequently painting with brushes just like 5 years ago maybe. So around 2020 or 2019-20 ish, I started after the dark green painting. I started like consequently painting with brushes, with small brushes. Before that, I did most of the painting stuff with fingers or with broad brush, but more like because I realized then it's easier to paint it with a piece of textile or something. So I painted those frames, then I painted the inside, or I experimented on the backside, and I played with all kinds of, for me, new things, like with oil, with acrylics, with splashes, something wacky, anything, And in those paintings from the backside are growing. And like to try new things, I would have never used up a new canvas for that. Maybe if I would have stacked them here up like crazy, but even then I probably would have thought, okay, I want to just prefer keep painting my perfect SEAK pieces, or make a direction in this and in that direction. Or maybe like this I paintings, but not like some crazy abstract stuff or just doodling around. And I also had a phase where I said, okay, let's paint things ugly, Like, how can I come up with something original? It's also okay to paint ugly stuff, maybe because that's maybe a direction, or ugly or distasteful. Not distasteful in terms of something is clearly visually seen on like a naturalistic representation. Distasteful, just an aesthetic thing, Maybe this can also have the effect of being, I'll say that, losing up. I remember from an old school graffiti writer here in Monheim, which I highly respect, who told me that an advice I should, it was in the 90s, when I don't know what to sketch and how to lose up and how to get into my zone, I should take the piss out of myself, like really like making fun about myself while painting, like trying to sketch, but then like, and it's like someone's like roasting you literally, And then and you do that for like a few seconds, and you come up and you realize, oh, this looks great. Wow, fuck, this is awesome. Now, the problem is then you very quickly identify a pattern. You're on that right frequency, and then you're playing it safe again, and it's like, okay. So yeah. So technically, if you want to really come up with new things all the time, you must always constantly not taking yourself serious while painting. Yeah. Well, I also have this burden of painting my style and keeping that alive and keep that growing on a certain level. Yeah. Which is also like something I must do. And I can't rat on that. I'm just using the word ratting on that, being a rat. I don't know. So Rat is also an advice. It's like double meaning. Or like Rat was a high-ranking title in the Imperial Germany, like a Geheimrat or something. Anyway, the point is, okay, the backside of the paintings. So now we have like, I guess, 2013, 2015, 16, 17, and so on. I'm painting on the backside of my paintings, or 2011, painting on the backsides. I'm painting here in rotations. And it developed into that I'm painting in rotations. So I have like, okay, I have my airbrush compressor working, knock on wood, and it's not clogged because I have a history in like messing up airbrush guns because I treat them completely wrong because you have to be like super anal with how keen and tidy and clean everything must be, and I'm with airbrush the very opposite, which is wrong. I had like a phase which usually in the past wasn't really that long that my airbrush was working. I also used spray can in it in a lot of times, which was also a bit of tricky. So let's say I'm painting with airbrush, and I realized, okay, now I can I'm in a flow state. Okay, let's do that with all the others paintings, canvases here too. Okay, till it's clocked again. Okay, then I switch. That can go for a few days or weeks, or a few hours, and then let's for some reason, let's make lag dots on every painting, because I just learned or heard from that this form has this effect on the psyche, and I know I will have changes in my lifestyle or because of my family. So okay, I prepare myself for that and be tactical. So I'm emotionally stable, and I'm thinking a few years ahead, so consciously ahead. So or I'm trying this new oil thing, and I'm realizing, wow, this looks fucking awesome. This is like it came to a point with playing with abstract stuff that I for a few years was mainly occupied with painting my abstract things, and like all the graffiti writers on Facebook and Instagram then later, and what other networks were there, they were like not interested so much anymore in my work because they are like on an aesthetic totally different path, like just letters, just this highly stylized 3D letters, and they were like enttäuscht, I was saying. They were like, oh, sorry. They were like sad that I not for focusing on my style like I used to did, and because they were like anchored from childhood on me taking that next progression and seeing that in magazine and books and on my website, and so and every now and then I became like males when I painted like an old piece or like a style piece or something. That's what the people want to see, la di da di da. So anyways, so the point is that the backside paintings the backside paintings were growing, and also because I'm painting with my rotation on all pieces I'm having here. In the later years, I just selected all and did like smaller rotations, so that some paintings are crystallizing on a higher level faster, so I can kind of like impress people online, so that because everybody thought like this is my level. I showed my work in progress photos, and they were like, well, okay, wow, great piece, blah blah blah. But you could see like people were like, he's like a respected ladida, but it wasn't like wow, like mesmerizing, like they knew from 10 or 12 years before or something. And you can kannst den Mund fusselig reden. You can talk like that become like your mouth hangs down in like parts of textile. People believe what they see, not what you tell or say them. So, because I was always like, oh, these are work in progress, I'm doing a rotation. No one cared, It's, especially if people don't want to care and want to use it against you, la-di-da. Anyway, so the point is that so those paintings are growing, but this happened. But they're growing very slow, not just on the back side, also on the front side, because I also had like lots of paintings empty canvases which I kept painting, those large canvases which were, because I bought like in 2010 or 11 after I had some money from a paint thing. I bought like large materials again, so canvas rolls and stuff like that. And then I started new large paintings too, in addition. The thing was, I didn't know about color psychology or nothing. And I didn't have this like self-rewarding ego hype, like when I paint a wall painting or SEAK style somewhere, let's say in the 90s or early 2000s at some legal wall or illegal, doesn't matter. You take a photo, you have photos from that, you get like a massive rush of dopamine, which holds on for like a few days or weeks, doesn't matter, depending on how good you like the painting. Then the act itself is like working out, so you did like something for your fitness, and if you're constantly painting, you're also fitter, so you're psychologically better established, or more optimal established. Then the forms and the colors themselves are triggering or positively steering you in the rest of your time, even when you just see it on photo, which has its own effect, aside if you like the painting or not. And then the forms also, and then the social status, and plus you have something to work with, which you can send to magazines, to books, upload on the internet. People are talking about it, la-di-da-di-da. You also connect with other artists. So that has a huge positive effect. And I completely denied myself this, like, I'm having a finished piece I'm proud of, and I'm like really like, wow, I have a new level, this is like fucking awesome, blah, blah, blah. I'm denying myself this effect, I'd say from 2009 or 10 in terms of canvases. Or maybe even earlier, no, not 2009. And then I'm, because I work in this rotation system. And so basically like a painting now doesn't take like a few hours or a few days, or maybe a week. But I mean, for example, in San Francisco, I painted a wall painting next to big city lights on the street corner where this old gas station car sales dealership was, next to the Cheesecake Factory, Soma, south of Market, that area, Mission District. I painted there for a few weeks, one piece. A graffiti writer can also technically paint in like 1 or 2 hours or 6 hours, like when you say like I'm painting a piece. So maybe that was a little bit larger, but also detailed. And I really like put a glove into it, and it was there for many years. And yeah, people, I guess, liked it and took photos of it. I hope so. The point is, I was just itching here. Did I lie to myself or something? I don't know. It's a subconscious. It's not every touching of an eye, the ear, or something here. It means like lying, I guess. The lights, big city lights. Light. Okay. And here, I'm lying here. I'm too fat. I'm trying to mask that, okay? It's like man boobs. It's my boobs, my man boobs, okay? Shout out to Owen Cook from Real Social Dynamics. So the point is, I just thought about that. Anyway, the point is that, okay. The point is that I'm denying myself this great or good feeling of painting a piece in a short time and then being happy about it. It can be also a few minutes. Plus they're all small, and plus they're not fully full like a style piece, like a SEAK next to each other, with a decent background, and the painting, the style stands in front of. I'm painting now my pieces, my canvases, my paintings, and I'm painting in rotation. That means like this process can take up like 10 years, 15 years till they come on to a level where I say, wow, like this is like a burner, or this is fucking awesome. The good thing then is I have not just one painting on that level, but like maybe 100 paintings. Yeah, that's the number. I want to say the number too high, so people are like, oh, he has too much paintings, doesn't have any value, blah blah blah. Or he has too less paintings. Or we just invest in someone who will blow up on the art market. It's like however you want to do it. People are, I don't know. I don't. Yeah. So the thing is that now I'm sitting basically on lots of paintings which are on a super high level, much more detailed and perfect and painterly sense what line said, but on a painter level, painting quality level, much better than I ever thought or I would have imagined I would come or be. My horizon never went into, not even close to that. In fact, I never thought about it. Like for example, I was so liberally brainwashed that I thought sex was just in terms of lust, but not thought in terms of I'm making children, which is like completely crazy, But it's like, welcome to the liberal brainwashing that we all received with boomer/silent generation parents, Yeah. So, the same. Anyway, well, don't worry, I don't, not to worry, but I will make lots of white children, German children. They talked about that in other videos already. The point is, I'm delaying myself or denying myself this great feeling of focusing on one painting that onto a level. And the benefit there is with like painting in rotation, and when I'm painting on the backside is I can make my paintings all different, because in each year or months or phase I have a different vibe, a different mentality, a different skill set, a different inability or ability, a different stroke, I'm a different person. I have a different rules or different painting strategies, a different horizon, and this reflects in the painting. So I can make interesting paintings which all look different and have different levels, which is interesting to see, because otherwise all my stuff looks the same. I mean, now I have lots of paintings which all are in itself have different levels and different layers and different aesthetics. But if you put the paintings together, I must be careful that the cat bites its tail or the snake eats its tail. That now, all my paintings have the same. So, yeah, well, this is a constant process, because I want to have variation. I want to have an interesting oeuvre. And I also want to paint it all by myself, which just sounds stupid, like why he's saying that, like every artist, no. This is like, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I mean, I love being the bearer of bad news. Yeah, I could show you here how the house looks from outside. They have like a petition against me, like newspaper, television, radio, the whole enchilada. By the way, all medias who like celebrated me into the sky for decades. Yeah, but I'm a sleeper. I was a sleeper. And the adults told me the times must first get bad, much more bad. And now the times are bad. Yeah, and people still don't want to wake up. So, yeah, it's in our DNA. So, yeah. So anyways, bearer of bad news, flag bearer. Yeah, which is a risky position on the like flag bearer in the military, Civil War, so they get shot first. I don't know. Let's talk about yeah. So basically, my paintings are literally like flags, Can also be like that, Not red flags. This is like, okay, this is red flags. Oh, okay, I get it. because with red and blue, for example, it triggers like intense life, but it makes it very difficult for people to comprehend and to digest and reflect the informations they just became. So I'm keeping it here simple, stupid, like really simple what I'm saying. And probably you're crazy, or I don't know, from the political police or for some kind of leftist anti-white NGO or like diehard fan or supporter or art historian, I don't know, or women wanting to have children with me, so that you are that long into the video. So yeah, anyways. Yeah. So why I'm painting on the back side of the paintings? Of course, it has a sexual double meaning, which is difficult or can be difficult if you steer the direction onto yourself, like say from the front and from the back. It has an anal, you're switching the sides and not being fully heterosexual anymore kind of vibe. And it can trigger people when you think in the wrong directions. So, and there's this old, very practical saying, don't have the thought. Interpret everything in the other way. I mean, be passive-aggressive in a way, which is, yeah, of course, it has a double meaning. I don't want to go further there. Always interpret it into reproducing lots of white children of your own folk, and in best case, so we can stay, that Germans stay German, French stay French, la di da di da. Of course, there's mixed in America, la di da, our brothers. Yeah, and then you can, let's talk about art, which is maybe also art or part of the art. How to interpret paintings, you know. Why are painting on the backside of the paintings? To make them paintings more attractive objects, to have an advantage in terms of other artists, like, because I can't afford to have like 6, 7, 8 assistants painting my paintings and having a gallery with like 50 gallerinas working for me and being hyped, la-di-da-di-da, and in all blood foundations. I mean, if the future would be like that, great. For my children, when they sell, however, rates, also like ratting, when they have to take care of my oeuvre. But these days, or the last 20 years, it wasn't like that. So, which is also a benefit, because now I can speak freely about being pro-white, or, you know, Martin Sellner or HT, la-di-da, Anglosphere, German pro-white camp, rechtes Lager, etc., because all the others are shitting in their pants and won't ducking and cucking away, you know. There you go. They're like a charade of artists or whatever, you know. They're like, they must be so ashamed of themselves when you consider you have like a picture of what artists should be like. They must so self-hate and be disgusted by themselves, which makes it dangerous for people like me, because then they project that on me, you know. Same as people who also should do something and not doing it. They get angry because there's someone else is telling them that one has the wrong message. They're getting angry and disgusted because they're angry that they didn't do it. And then they go after those who have the same opinion. And I've experienced that also. That's all. One reason why I lost my blog, I guess. Because that was interesting too. Because it's like, he knew in certain things, more things about things I didn't know. Like, this famous killing series where they, the one guy was like neutralizing himself. I have to mince my words here. Neutralizing himself, like, out of life, himself, how to say, like, Freitod. And then, like, with the suppression silencer, on the pistol, 2 shots in the back of the head. Yeah, right. And of course, And then, yeah, but maybe also, stepping back. You're painting on the backside of the paintings. So like painting is like it has like an ambivalent level to have both sides painted. So I advise you to interpret my paintings for you instead of against you. But of course, my paintings can have the effect that it stir up realizations in your life, on your thing where you maybe so far have self-sabotaged you. My paintings are making that evident, because art has its funny way of steering and interpreting and playing with the subconscious and how you interpret things. Yeah. So why I'm painting on the backside of the paintings? And so it was, I'd already said it was for money, economic reasons, space reasons, efficiency. It has this, okay, I have here something, I can also use that in that way. I completely have overseen that. This is completely crazy. Yeah, that has like some kind of like hype feeling of like I discovered a new function, which is great, you know, like great. I can clean up my cell phone and have then 10 gigabyte, 100 gigabyte more on my phone, you know, when I use this function, you know, something like that. It has that vibe too, painting on the backside. Plus, if I don't have any ideas, I had phases where I was like no inspiration, no money, stuck, bound to keep on keeping my paintings on a higher level, realizing I must do it with details. I had one time, years before, an advice from a famous art curator, an art collector, who told me I shouldn't paint any small paintings, but he backstabbed me because he didn't hold his word, and backstabbed me actively and completely overdid me, which is like, yeah. But so I was like, okay, maybe he gave me on purpose the wrong advice, you know. I mean, he also gave me right advices. And plus, I have this belief: if everybody's doing it's antizyklische behavior, being anti-cyclic. Also, people everybody's doing it this. If you're doing it the other way, you rather fall massively or you have massive success. This is probably also why I became an artist. This, that, blah blah blah. So the point is, I'm painting on small paintings, and the problem is also it's because of the rooms here, you know. It's like they're a little bit too small. Everything here is a little bit too small, so that it amplifies that I'm also then painting everything a little bit too detailed, a little bit too small, which is has a massive effect because it keeps on keeping on in terms of painting, and it steers the oeuvre. And it probably needs to be more like I have to force myself to paint it a little bit larger, because if you have it like larger, then you can also, and it has a notch enough, or however notch is like that. No, it's larger. It has this effect that if you then paint something detailed, it doesn't take up ages, because when you get smaller, you have to concentrate yourself more, you have to focus more, it takes more energy, more time. Yeah. So I started playing the long game, you know, in the long run. And now it's, when I was like with all the new paintings or with the paper paintings through us, on painting on the back sides, and I mean, it's a constant painting and growing. I took up more and more other paintings here and painted on the back sides, and then now they're all growing from the back sides, and some pieces I said, okay, of course I leave the main side like it is, but I'm also then making the back side on a modern, high-tech, contemporary level, on my state-of-the-art level. So people can basically the front side looks like late 90s, early 2000er years, or 2010er years, and the back side looks like, well, this is from 2026, or this is like from, I don't know when you watch this video, 2030 or 35. And I will keep on keeping on, because I realized, okay, no rich millionaires, billionaires are coming here and buying this stuff, so I have a lavish lifestyle of, you know, because even then, if I would have, you can't eat it, because then you get fat. This is not from having, you know, this is from eating too much carbs and moving too less and da-di-da. Or plus, I'm always bound for painting, you know. I must keep on keeping on so there's like, yeah, driving around with some, like, jet setting the world is nice and dandy, but at that time I'm not painting, okay. So it's like, I'm in a hamster wheel. It's like a libtard anti-white lip talk. But the thing is also like my emotions or my well-being or my happiness or my everything comes from also from those visuals I'm painting. Also, I'm seeing from others. I love the paintings from others. I love all kinds of technical stuff or aesthetic stuff, of course. But I must also deliver, and I know how great that is. But I also know, okay, I know, oh, this form looks fucking awesome, blah, 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 blah. But to have it like, to turn this into a masterpiece, especially, or to a great painting, especially that it has to uphold and test the test of time, or to be equally, at least equal good, or even more optimal, la-di-da, on a level, compared to works from others, yeah, that needs much more effort, especially if you have lots of screenshots from Instagram or TikTok on your phone from other artists collected over the last 15 years, where you check, oh my God, the others are developing so great. I'm not just talking about like colleagues or graffiti artists or artists who have come from the graph world or utilize the spray can from a style writing, 3D, whatever point, but all kinds of creatives. So I'm never finished. I will never be happy because it's always like another layer. Plus, when I know technically a painting looks great from both sides or from one side, doesn't matter, then yeah, I watch something else, and that takes up the energy I'm just having, containing it in a different way. And that's one reason why I then like the other piece more than the painting I just finished or thought is finished, which looks great and where I'm working on since 26 years, just because for that reason, you know, it's like a painting can transform you in emotion or emotions or thoughts, or the emotions are just markers. But then you have that in your mind and you watch another painting, and that what you just had gets containered, deducted, filtered from the view you then see in another painting. So obviously the other painting, if it has a certain level, will appeal to you more. This is the nature of the beast. This is like when you have eaten something, you must, and then at some point go to the toilet. Yeah, or you throw it up and then you die. Like throwing up, throwing up is also means like having the hand up. So I just showed you there something that it was not. And plus it was like this, it's all legal. Don't you worry, I mean, anyway. So anyway, by the way, Uncle was right, Painter was right. My styles are literally like my S, my E, my A, my K, they are based on throw-ups. This is called, it's a graffiti talk. It means throw up. It's like you put it fast up on the wall in the sky, if you will. So, which is interesting when, police officers or people during the years are doing Romans or legal semi-Romans or suggested Romans or full Romans or the open Mercedes version behind, all kinds of things. And it is amplified because I have the I before the K, and then you have the LER, like two other things. This is like, this is humbling me. Yeah, I should work out more, Okay. Anyways, so this is one reason why I painted my paintings on the back sides. Yeah, and it's humbling because it takes ages till they're on a certain level, and it's like, and it doesn't then mean that that I will like the painting. So at some point then, after going through a frustration phase of many years, working always the same paintings, I come to the conclusion I'm just taking it as some kind of like training or training surfaces, and not having any emotional outcome dependence investment into it. And then probably that's the magical point where from that on, as long as you keep that vibe open, those paintings can become really, really good, because then you are like not trying to play it safe, and you're free in your artistic or creative expression. Which doesn't mean that you in the end like it, because after that probably you then like just super simple paintings because you want to refresh yourself. And then maybe you look at the same painting a few years later again. I'm talking about also from the perspective of the artist. And then you like the painting, but it steers a reflection in you and totally different vibes. So, yeah, but it's not this like cocaine or hype rush feeling of having painted your style on some wall, train or canvas in a quick time or in one row, and it looks really good, and you have this success experience in a few hours or maybe a few days, and that's manifested, and it's like, wow, you know, and that keeps on keeping having you. Well, and then this could be maybe a strategy, and then I can then do like another like parallel. This could probably upgrade my well-being. And then I could paint, like, keep on painting in my routine, frustrating, low hype, low high intense emotion, because it means also low in lows, you know, if you always have this based emotions, which is positive, you know. And so maybe also productive. I mean, it depends, you know, because maybe it can end up into being like super boring paintings. You never know. And then I keep on producing and having my rotation, and every now and then I'm painting like one piece in a row, which is like, wow, you know. This could be a strategy. I don't know. It's like lots of painting strategies. I wrote that in the book from Albert Oehlen, and he was talking about Bildstrategien, like picture or painting strategies, which are image strategies, like how you strategize or trigger yourself or create a thought process. Or that's how I'm interpreting now. How to achieve a strategy or tactic to create great art or great paintings, with what kind of mindset or anything, because anything goes, you know. I mean, must be practical, of course. But I also had this as a strategy also to paint in an extra non-practical way, because nobody's doing that. Hey, let's do that. It's probably get a great idea, you know, because then maybe you have success with that, whatever that success is. This is like when I'm painting on the back side of the paintings. Plus, when I'm having the paintings standing here around, I have more surface. I can have more paintings, more efficient. I'm repeating myself, not all the time, but it's a USP. Other people are not doing it. I'm having an advantage the others in front of the others, trying to make the best out of what I'm saying. Maybe it's also because if I say my name backwards, it's Kaes, Kaes, means like cheese or something, or Zualk in terms of Klaus, or Relniv for Winkler. I don't know, maybe it's that. I have no idea. I mean, you tell me why it's a good idea to paint the backside of the paintings. I mean, I have enough videos here. We can check. You can see it and then give me a feedback. This is like, yeah. So but hey, I'm now on 120. This morning was 123. I have to. The worst was like 131 a few months ago. I'm moving to less. I'm eating too much. At least I have to eat some carbs, but I'm at least mostly protein. Yeah, it's a steady process. I'm doing it the natural way. So, yeah. See you in the next video. Thank you. This was SEAK Claus Winkler on why I'm painting the backside of the paintings. I may be doing further videos about that. Yeah, because it's some kind of like a USP, or developed into a USP from my art. Thank you.